I've created this group in my mind called the Normie Group, where they just tweet the most vague, generic shit.
Their favorite Twitter personality person is like, life do be hard sometimes. They just eat that shit up.
Like, yeah, do be king. There's a community of people
that will eat that shit
No,
up.
they're just like, yes, king. Let's fucking go. What a king. What? Life do be hard, but... And then they replied, don't worry, king, it gets better. Oh my god, he wanted you to reply that! Are they real? They cannot be real people, Zach. They're bots! Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Uneducation Station. I'm Arthur. This is Zach.
Hello.
The usual. And we're on Education Station.
Woo!
If I didn't say that already, if you didn't figure that out already, if you were wandering around the recommendations, you stumbled upon here, welcome. The camera's here. Welcome. You changed the camera on me, Zach.
I'm so...
How are you, Zach?
Dude, I'm doing pretty good.
That's good. That's good. So you're doing an Easter thing at church. Now I have to ask, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that entail necessarily? Because I explained to you downstairs, but my family does Easter as well, but not for any religious reasons, of course, because we're Buddhists, but we do it for fun, right? The kids go get the eggs and stuff, and they have a time. I don't know if like is there an egg chase for y'all in the church, or how does that work?
So for the kiddos, it was, the Easter egg hunt and the baskets and all of that kind of stuff. But it was basically just kind of like a regular church service type thing. And for those who may not know this, in Christianity, the Easter is celebrated because that was the day that Jesus rose from the dead, and woo.
I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah,
nice,
so
nice. Good for him. Good shit. W.
Good shit, Jesus.
W to W.
Jesus the goat. So there are two different, and a lot of people don't really celebrate Good Friday, but Good Friday is the day that Jesus died, which doesn't really make sense why it's called Good Friday. It's like, Good Friday, he's dead.
Come on.
But yeah, so he died on a Friday, and then he was locked into like this tomb type thing with a giant boulder in front.
Ah, yes.
And then
the only reason why I know about that is because of that Drake and Josh meme. You know what that one is? The one where they were trapped in the treehouse, and then they're like, I forgot what it was. I can't remember the quote, but it was like they were trapped in a treehouse and didn't have a door, and then Josh was like, "Where's the door?" And he's like, "It's right there." And then Drake walks towards the door and it doesn't open, and then he says something iconic and I can't remember. Oh man.
But yeah, that's basically what it was.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. That's all it was. Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna try to find it. Go ahead.
So yeah, basically on the third day on Sunday, which is Easter. Oh my god, that is so good.
Where's the Messiah?
Oh wait, look at that other one.
This one?
Yeah, that.
Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. He was there. That was him.
Yeah. So.
It's the only I apologize. That's the only reason why I know about it.
See, here's the thing. It's like, it's funny because it's funny. And it, obviously these types of memes and stuff are all in good fun, and they're not trying to be like super insensitive or anything like that.
Not, of course not.
And so that's why they're really, really funny. But yeah, basically, everyone's like, yay, Jesus came back from the dead. Woo! And then that's kind of what Easter is. I don't know where the fuck the Easter bunny came from, though.
He just kind of, maybe there was a
bunny Jesus?
Bunny Jesus? Jesus bunny? Girl senpai? Hey, yo.
Bunny girl Jesus?
Bunny girl Jesus? Rascal does not dream of dreaming Jesus. That's the next volume.
I don't know how we ended up here. I'm sorry if we say anything that is a little...
Well, I was just curious because I don't really know like religion fascinates me just in general.
Right.
I'm not a religious person, but the idea of religion fascinates me. So, you know, I'm curious about these things, like Christmas, for example, or Thanksgiving and such.
Yeah. I mean,
holidays that I've experienced all the time because I grew up and lived in the USA, but wasn't part of my tradition, so I don't understand it technically. Well,
yeah.
I mean, I do, obviously, like Thanksgiving, obviously, I know the history of it, but, you know, all the other things and such, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's really interesting when you kind of sit and look at the holidays that we celebrate in the US and just look at how weird some of them are. It's like Easter, for example. Like, I don't know where the Easter egg hunt came from or like, you know, anything like that. Now you're going to Google it and that makes me really happy. But, you know, it's super weird to just kind of think about.
Control.
Do you
no,
want?
I have it. It's okay.
Arthur's sitting over there struggling because he doesn't have a control key because key binds. But yeah, it's really weird when you sit and look at how absurd.
According to some sources, this is history.com. It has to be legit. The Easter Bunny first arrived in America in the 1700s with German immigrants who settled in Pennsylvania and transported their tradition of an egg laying here called Osterhase or Osterhase. Their children made nests in which this creature could lay its colored eggs. Or the colored eggs were real? I feel like that wouldn't be very healthy, just in general, you know. Well,
wait, bunnies don't lay eggs, first of all.
They don't?
They don't.
Oh, do they just get prego?
Bro, they're mammals.
They are? I mean, I guess that would make sense, yes.
When a mommy bunny and a daddy bunny love each other very much.
They asked Jeff Bezos to Amazon Prime them a child. I know how the story goes, Zach. I learned it in school, too.
You know, there was a time before Jeff Bezos.
No, there wasn't. Jeff Bezos is God. He was the Messiah, Zach. I've arrived with Amazon Prime.
He was the Messiah of free 2-day shipping with Amazon Prime.
He said, I'm back, and I bring to you all Amazon basics.
I bring you the Fire Stick.
It's pretty good, though. Okay. Whether that's true or not, it's history.com. We're not a news channel, by the way. We're not a news show. Not a news show.
We're not a news show.
But hey, you know, I like talking about news every now and then. Not that I pay attention to it very much, but it's fun to talk about. I feel like there was one I wanted to bring up recently because I recall actually last episode something happened in like anime or something like that, or maybe not anime. I don't know, something relevant to us, and I wanted to bring it up, but then I forgot about it, and now I don't remember what it is, which is unfortunate.
Well, I don't even know what you were going to say to begin with, so I
know. I was asking you like you were going to figure out what I wanted to say, even though I didn't tell you what it was going to be.
You didn't tell me last time.
But you had to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because you have to understand what's going on in my brain.
That's what friends do.
We talked about memes a lot last episode, but we didn't talk about like dark memes. Well, I guess we kind of did, but like not that that's a topic I want to go into, but just kind of like when we talk about memes or funny jokes, or when we get into like a richer territory.
Yeah.
How it's more just for jokes, you know? We're just having a time. Because I remember when I was watching Dave Chappelle, I mentioned that the other episode, the other episode, right?
Yeah.
And I was watching them, and I was watching his old shows, and then some newer ones on Netflix. Not all of them, but some of them. And I was like, damn, these jokes did not age well.
Dude, that's the crazy thing is you go back not even that long ago, 5 years ago, to the glory days of 2017. And you look at the jokes that people were making, like in 2016 Bo Burnham came out with Make Happy.
Yeah, those. Oh yeah, definitely when I was rewatching Bo Burnham, those jokes did not, like his older shows, they did not translate too well. But not well. No, I don't think I could pretend to say it didn't. But like,
I mean, here's something that I feel very strongly about. if it is not like, if there is no seriousness involved, like, you know, the types of really dark jokes that we would say in a Discord call in the wee hours of the morning, you know, like that kind of stuff. If it's all in good fun and everyone knows that you're not like a horrible human being who just says a bunch of really, really messed up racist shit, or like, you know, anything like that, I feel like it's like it's a joke. Obviously, it's
right.
It's hard to explain to
someone who doesn't get it.
Yeah. God, I am walking a fine line here.
Because you don't want to upset the crowd. You don't want to upset the crowd that doesn't know that they're part of that crowd.
Yeah.
I get jokes. I'm funny. Haha. Look at this. Minions.
Among Us.
Among Us.
Or guy walks into a bar and it was a metal bar, like a pole, and it hurt.
See, what is that supposed to, I thought you were going to go the other route where it gets. See,
no, I'm not even gonna like give an example of that kind of stuff
because some people would not get that you're joking.
Yes. And honestly, like it's so funny because I have had like super vivid dreams of me doing stand-up comedy and then me just getting mugged after the show.
I always think about that. What if the guys get, well, I mean, I'm sure they're like, they got people and maybe or whatever, however the way that works. But I think about that a lot sometimes. But you know, you mentioned something, like, since we're talking about it, you don't use Twitter very much, but you may have it in other areas as well, because obviously you know about it. But excuse me, the replies to like a joke tweet or something, like a really popular joke tweet.
Oh my gosh.
And you look at the replies and some of them are just absolutely fucking brainless.
Dude, have you seen the Reddit thread r/whoosh?
Yes, of course.
And that's basically what it is.
Well, what boggles my mind is that those are real people. It can't be real people. It cannot. Like, I understand. Like we were talking about before, you have to be into this internet culture thing to understand how to read sarcasm from literally a picture, right? Yeah. From literally like something that doesn't give you any context, any body language, context clues, anything like that. You just have to know that they're being sarcastic. You have to know the person. You have to know the context of which this phrase or picture could be derived from. Right. So I understand that it's difficult, but at the same time, I can see someone make literally a tweet and I don't know this person and I can tell they're joking. Right. Because it's obvious to me, but to them it's not. And that boggles my mind. Like, how can that, like, do you genuinely think that this person thinks this absurdly terrible thing? Right. You know, obviously it's not true. It's just really funny to say out loud. So he said it out loud.
Yeah, like you said, it boggles my mind too, because, you know, we're sitting here, two guys being dudes, and I just imagine you or myself getting just crucified on Twitter about a joke that you and I were both making about Easter. Ironic. Crucified. Ha. Funny joke. But, you know, I just imagine that there are some people out there who are gonna, and I don't think this is actually gonna happen. Don't make this happen, please. I say that and then it's gonna happen. They're gonna take like the little snippet of us making jokes about Jesus, and then they're gonna be like, oh, the uneducation station is against religion and fucking whatever.
Yes, we are, apparently.
I'm wearing a necklace that has a cross on it. Arthur has a Buddha necklace.
I do. It's here somewhere. Okay. There we go. All right.
He's been wearing that for probably as long as I've known him, I think.
Well,
I don't know.
I've cycled through different ones because they keep breaking, because I wear them all the time.
Like every day. But yeah, that's the thing that people don't get, is that you can say I don't want to say you can say whatever you want, but if you have the context of it's a joke, then it's a joke, because there are some people who just use that as an excuse to say messed up shit to people.
If you can say something and you know it's going to be a joke, then it probably will be a joke. If you say something and if you think about if it's going to be a joke or if it's too messed up, it's probably too messed up. That's how I think about it in my brain.
Yeah.
Because the flow of natural conversation, you don't have time to think about. Or you don't have time to think about the consequences and repercussions of what you're about to say. Because you're just talking.
Right.
It's not the internet where you can have like replies after like an hour, 2 hours, a day or 2 days, a week or whatever.
A year
if you have to, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I say something or I'm saying something and you think of a joke and you have that moment to decide if that's messed up or funny. Or funny because it's messed up.
Right.
Or just fucked. If it's just fucked and you have to think, wait, is it though? It's probably just fucked and you just won't say it.
Yeah.
It's like that. So that's how I think of it in my mind, right?
Right.
And you go, I was watching again Dave Chappelle, and he made a joke, and then I can't remember what it was, but he said something a little obscene, you know, classic.
Yeah.
I found it funny still, but he did, and then you know, some of the audience were like, whoa, you know, and then he kind of kneels down with his microphone. He goes, "You're gonna need to man the fuck up, or you're not gonna last to the end of the show." You know?
Yeah.
You paid money to see me. You know what you're gonna get. You clicked on my face. You're on Netflix. You clicked on my face. You know what you're getting.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, yeah, that's true. You know, it's Dave Chappelle. You know, everybody knows what's gonna happen if you click on a Dave Chappelle show or special or whatever. You know,
right?
It's like getting upset after willingly subjecting yourself to something. You know?
It's like watching a rated R movie and being upset that there was vulgar language. Like, bro, I saw somewhere, I don't remember where, there were people who were writing reviews of Deadpool and saying like,
yeah, that's crazy. I've been binge watching Deadpool clips for the past like 3 days. That's actually so funny you say that. Go ahead.
That's hilarious. Maybe I can read your mind. But
I think you can. So customer service does to a person.
That's what friends do. But, you know, there will be people who will watch Deadpool, for example. It's rated R for vulgar language, obscene, it's gory.
Just vulgar. Yeah, it's gory, dude. Like I forgot how gory it was. Like I watched it in theaters, and the first one in theaters, and the second one I think I watched it or with some friends, or maybe the other way around. And I didn't really think about it until I watched the clips. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's really gory. And you know, I'm not a type of guy who's into that, obviously. So I will flinch a bit here and there. But because of the premise of Deadpool, it's actually not that bad. I'm fine with it, you know?
It definitely could have been way worse.
Yeah, of course, but just the visuality of it already, right? Like in the very beginning with the car scene or whatever.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the slow motion when the guy fucking splats into a sign. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. Did that really happen? I don't even remember that happening.
Now that you mentioned that, and I completely forgot about it. Mm-hmm. Like, I just forgot that it existed.
Yeah.
Because it's not that big of a deal. You went to go see a gory movie with vulgar language and Ryan Reynolds being Deadpool, who is basically Ryan Reynolds. You're going to see some shit. You're going to hear some shit that you don't like. Mm-hmm. And that's totally fine because that's what you paid for. You got the ticket. You went to your local cinema, sat down in your comfy little seat and signed up for Deadpool. Mm-hmm. And then you got upset because it wasn't a kid-friendly movie, but it was fucking rated R. And it was also Deadpool. If you have seen anything about the games, anything about the comics, you would have known that movie is gonna be fucking insane. And Ryan Reynolds spent it was like 6 years trying to make that movie happen because no one wanted to make it because it was just so
I saw a mini clip of an interview of that of the process of doing so. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. I get it though, you know, it's pretty out there as far as cinema goes.
Yeah, but then it turned into like the best.
Yes, of course. You got to take those shots sometimes, you know? Because
oh my God, I just remembered something. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead. I always cut you off. You're allowed to, Zach. Feel free. I don't need to talk anymore.
Okay. All right. So I saw the post-credit scene where in Deadpool 2 where Deadpool goes back to to
Hitler.
kill Hitler.
Yeah.
And yeah, that
Beautiful.
scene was just so funny because you could see, like, you know, if Deadpool felt bad about doing something, then that's how you know that you're like walking a line. Like, would you kill a baby if it prevented the death of a bunch of people?
Mhm.
You know, it's like, but it's a baby,
Right,
you know,
right.
like just that duality of like right and wrong. It was very compelling, and the fact that we could see and feel the confliction when he was wearing a mask.
Mhm.
It's like, well done.
Very
mean,
well done.
It was talking about killing Hitler as a baby, so it's like,
Yeah, that tackles not only like would you go back in time to kill Hitler before it happened, and also would you kill a baby? And then it's like the whole thing is going on with like abortion and stuff, you know?
yeah.
Is that technical? I mean, it already happened, but you know, it's already born. But then I feel like that symbolizes that. So it's like, fuck. Deadpool realizes I'm about to do something the internet's gonna hate right now, aren't I? All right, I should stop.
Bro, he already knew.
Yeah, right.
He already knew people were gonna pull up records from freaking 1918, and they're gonna see like, oh shit.
Cancel Deadpool. We killed Hitler. Wait, who's Hitler?
See, but the thing is that, you know, if he ended up getting caught doing that, then they wouldn't know that he was Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
They would just know that he was a little baby that got murdered by a dude in a red suit.
Which would also end up being in stories, because that'd be quite the story. You know, in the same idea of like people going into something and then arguing. I remember there was this anime that came out called Nekopara, and it's literally based off of a hentai game, right?
Fun,
very fun for all the kids. And there was like reviews of people getting mad, like it was kind of a little obscene, like some of it's a little etchy, a little kind of risky, you know. And there were some people were upset, and then other people were like, "Bro, in Volume 3, Vanilla ate Cinnamon's pussy out, bro. Just like relax, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You ain't seen shit." That was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's like, have you seen the game? Like, are we?
There's literally sex. There's no sex in the anime. I feel like they're doing a much better.
Do you know how much content they had to cut out for that movie to even, or like that anime to even exist?
It's funny. It's really funny. But I think about that a lot. It's like you have no fucking idea what you just said.
If they wouldn't have done that, it would have ended up on a different website
for a good reason.
Duh. But yeah, it's just the context of, hey, this is about to be really fucked up. I would think that would tell people when you think it's going to be fucked up and then it is, you're not going to be like Pikachu meme.
I knew you were going to say, I was going to say that too. Pikachu meme. No fucking shit. You know what I mean? I think, you know, speaking of that, this goes in a different route, but the, what's it? We were talking about Twitter replies, right? And I just feel like there are, I know there are bots, but I feel like there's more bots than we think in like Twitter replies, Instagram replies, or just tweets. These are bots. Have you ever, I don't know how much you go into it, Zach, because, you know, I know you don't use Twitter, but I be on Twitter, right? And I've created this group in my mind called the Normie group.
Right.
What does a Normie group mean? Well, it's the group that, like, and there's thousands, millions of them, Zach, where they just tweet the most vague, generic shit, or quote, retweet the vague, generic shit, right? And say vague shit like, man, just woke up, about to get this bread. 100 emoji, fire emoji, skull emoji, 100k likes, 10k retweets, 340 replies. And I look at the replies and be like, yes, sir. Yeah, you get that shit. And you check the person. He has like 100 followers. I'm like, what the fuck? What is happening? What is are you kidding me? And I have friends, like mutuals online, that retweet that shit too. And I like to think in my mind, they're on their Twitter and they see it, they're like, yes, sir, king. Like, retweet. Let's fucking go. My man. Like, really? Are you serious?
Dude,
Are you actually joking? There's no way. And there's like hundreds of replies of people like, yes, sir. I made a tweet like this before where it's like, I hate that, or I don't hate it. It's just so odd that it exists because it doesn't exist in any of my places. In any of the communities, for a COD community, anime community, any community I've ever been in, yes, sure, there's their own in language and stuff, you know, and their own in talking and that type of thing. But just this idea of just, I don't know, I just imagine in my head someone just having a timeline full of tweets like that, just generic vague tweets, and then there's just thousands and hundreds of thousands of likes, and then they're liking it too. They're like, yes, yes, sir, yep, yeah,
and then there's like,
yeah, that's me, yeah, that's you, let's go, queen, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, yeah.
And then there's those ones where they're like, life do be hard sometimes.
Yeah,
and it's
dude.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
life be hard, and they're like, yeah, B, I feel that. And then someone reply, and then another reply is like a paragraph. Yeah, bro, same. Honestly, this one time was Zoom, blah blah blah, and this happened, blah blah. Like, what? What? Why couldn't that have been the tweet? Why does that have less likes than the original tweet? You should tweet that. But it won't get. But maybe if you put it in the community space of normie Twitter, then maybe they look at that and they go, "Damn, bro, I feel that," and they'll give you the likes because that's normie Twitter. And I don't know. I can't wrap my brain around this idea of this massive cult following of people who use Twitter and use like literally the first 50 pages of the dictionary. You know what I mean?
Dude, have you heard of a guy called Dan Balzerian or Dan fucking he
I don't know, but that's a fantastic last name.
So he calls himself the king of Instagram, and basically all he does is post pictures of him with hot girls on expensive boats, and that's basically all he does. And he posts like super generic random bullshit on Twitter, like
life's good.
Life is good.
Life is good.
Or like
when you're me.
Yeah. Or like, you know, be a man. Life's hard. Take chances.
There's a community of people, probably of dudes and such,
that will eat that shit
No,
up.
they're just like, yes, king. Let's fucking go. What a king. What? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Are they real? They cannot be real people, Zach. They're bots. They're not real. They can't be real. I'm looking at these, and these are like it's as if a bot made this tweet because it's
Dan
like
Bilzerian, that's his name.
Not okay. I don't know if Zach is calling him out. I'm not calling him out. I mean, I'm sure this is what he does. I mean, Armenian American poker player. That's pretty cool. That's besides the point. I'm not even mad at these type of people. Oh, sorry. At these type of people. Dan, you're a fucking king. Do your shit. What I'm mad at, Zach, is the people who eat that shit up.
Right.
What I'm mad at is like, there is absolutely no way you're so brain dead and emotionless that this is what your Twitter feed looks like. You know what I mean? This is just what... This is what my timeline looks day to day, and I scroll and I just see like literally copy and paste tweets all day from like, Zach, is it just Tumblr? Like the Tumblr pics, you know?
Right.
Just girly things or whatever, and then it says the thing, you know what I mean? It's just that. Maybe that's why all the Tumblr people went to Twitter and then they started doing their Tumblr posts on Twitter, and then all the Tumblr people were like, oh, I recognize that format. That's me.
Right.
And then they reply to it like, oh my gosh, that's me. And then they're like, no fucking way. And there's always the same replies. The reply is like, yes, king, yes, queen, or yeah, you get that shit, or yeah, I really be like that, or no way. And then a video of some miscellaneous celebrity laughing really hard, or you know, something stupid like that. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What is this community? It's so it hurts my brain.
Do you want to know something that I find even more hilarious? Is that same demographic of people will go through hours of individually, they will spend hours researching and trying to find ways to dox somebody who their favorite normie Twitter person is not a fan of. Like or especially on like YouTube or like, you know, whatever like that, you know, they'll go in and try to find like every single itty bitty little tiny thing. But the second that their favorite Twitter personality person is like, life do be hard sometimes, then they're just like, they just eat that shit up.
Like, and do be king. Oh my God. Yes, queen. That shit do be hard.
You
oh,
go.
Lord. Oh boy.
You go, fam.
You
like,
go.
What the fuck is going on?
Life do be hard, but and then they replied, "Don't worry, King, it gets better." Oh my God, he wanted you to reply that. He wanted you to say that.
It's like when people
it hurts my heart and my brain. There's no way. I have people I know who do this, and I'm not mad at them. I'm mad at the people who eat that shit up and reply to that and stuff.
Dude, this just reminds me of people who say that their edits are garbage.
Just basically, except this one is just like, I don't know. They're like, their life is fucking fine. I mean, you know, everybody has like emotional moments. I get it. It's all good. But I just imagine some guy in his fucking like yacht or 100-story apartment or whatever, looking down at the peasants, at the street lights, sipping wine in a robe while a hooker is giving him a blowjob. And he just tweets, "Man, life do be hard sometimes. One of these nights."
I hate how stupid that sounds, because it's so. I imagine that fucking tweet, and I just imagine like a picture. Like if this was on Instagram, the picture would just be like, you know, stereotypical like rain on a glass window or like some random shit.
Yeah, and underneath the wall of the window, he's getting sloppy Joe. You know, it's like, dude, come on now. You know,
dude.
Oh my God, I can't not think of that.
I just imagine. Like these are the types of people who have like a fucking publicist who runs their Instagram, and they just send them a text with like a Venmo thing. Yeah, and the message is, "Hey yo, write me a sad tweet real quick. I'm too busy on my yacht in the middle of the Mediterranean. I'm running out of cell service. I can't scroll on Twitter. Can you do this for me?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah.
It's so fucking dumb.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre. That's the world we live in. It's bizarre that, well, okay. I personally don't think, like I said, I'm in multiple communities where those type of things don't happen. Yes, there are bait tweets, and yes, there are those things like that, but it's not to the same extent. It's not brain dead baiting, you know?
Right.
It's not like that. Well, you can argue that, but in the like not to the same extent as this shit, you know?
Right.
It's so they have to be bots, Zach. And there's like they type some shit. Life do be hard sometimes. Reply, John Smith. Yeah, I know, but it gets better, King. His is like I took my hand, I smashed my keyboard or something like that.
Or it's user 129957434.
If that's a bot, it has to be a bot. There's no way. There's a bot with an algorithm that scans those type of tweets. And then they reply to those tweets. And then it's like feeding their own small community. It's actually a small community full of bots. Like, I never wanted to call a person a bot, because not only is it funny, but it's also really, quite a normie thing to say, because it's like a Fortnite thing, right? Look at this fucking bot, you know what I mean? Not that that's a bad thing. I have friends who play Fortnite. Fortnite is fine. I love Naruto. Oh my gosh, I love Naruto and Sasuke and Kakashi. And Spider-Man. Oh, I love Keanu Reeves. They're my favorite. See, I'm cool with Fortnite, right?
Spider-Man and Keanu Reeves. That's all you gotta say.
That's all you gotta say. You like Naruto? Yeah, I love Fortnite. Oh my God.
Bro.
Oh my fucking God.
I have a feeling that the title of this episode is going to be Losing Faith in Humanity, because that's basically what's happening.
It's not humanity, Zach. That's the reason why I haven't lost faith in humanity because of this, because they're not humans. Those are bots. Those are Twitter bots, Instagram bots, whatever they're not real. They can't. I don't want to believe they're real, and because of that, I've lived with the notion that because they're not real, they don't actually exist. Arthur, calm down. They're not real. They won't hurt you. You know.
They won't come for you, Arthur.
They won't come. They're not real. They're not real. There was this one time, right? So I play this game, Zach. I don't know if you know. Genshin Impact. Yep. Right. And this and this character came out. She's hot as shit, right? Classic, right? Classic. Actual like mommy territory type shit, right? And she has this expedition thing, so there you can send characters on expeditions to get materials, and some characters, if you send them out, they have like special bonuses depending on the region, right? That's the broadest way I can explain it. And there's two characters in one region that can go together, which is that girl and then some guy, right? And I low-key kind of shipped them, right? Mm-hmm. I was like, yo, this is kind of cute. I can see that, you know? Not that I'm really in the shipping business, but I like to dabble here and there, right? You know, because it's kind of fun to think about. And also the shipping community in Genshin is fucking rich. And honestly, it's very wholesome. And after experiencing it, I'm like, okay, I can kind of get it. Still not too into it, but I do have my one ship. It's Xiaolumi. That's besides the point. I sound like a fucking like a reality show fan to some shit. Anyways, I'm sorry. I apologize. I come to find out that they're actually related. I didn't know that. You have to look into the lore to find out they're related. How do I fucking know, right? So at some point I tweeted out, right? Hey, this kind of ship is kind of nice. And then I get almost immediately, right? Well, maybe not immediately, but more immediately than it probably should have, from accounts I don't even know. For accounts I've never seen before, and they're like, this is I can't believe you fucking you piece of shit, you absolute fucking filth. And I'm like, what's happening? I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know. And then I figure it out, and I'm like, oh, I see. Okay, I understand. Fuck you still, but okay. And then I'm curious, right? So I look at their profiles, and then like, okay, they kind of look like normal profiles, right? You know, like not necessarily like, it's kind of like someone who is just on Twitter to be on Twitter. Right. You know, just one of those. That's fine. But then I check their tweets and replies, because you can check that, right? And you can check where they tweet and and it's more importantly, what they replied to. And I see the replies, and it's literally them replying to the same people who have shipped them like me, saying the exact same things. So I'm like, what? Are you kidding me,
bro?
Are you going on Twitter? You search that ship and you mass reply to every single person that thing? Are you kidding me? Is that a real person?
Bro, that's like copy pasta replies on Twitter.
And you know what the worst thing is? There's not exact copy pasta. They're all different. They're just variations of the same reply.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut up. I don't fucking care. At this point, fuck you. I'll support that ship in spite of you. Fuck you. I was like, what the fuck? How is that though? They can't be real people, Zach. They're not real. And then I never find them on my profile ever again. They never like any of my other tweets. They didn't even like that tweet. They don't reply to anything. I bet if I say the same exact tweet, those same accounts will be back. I bet you, because they're sitting there, they finished a 9-to-5 job. They hate their fucking life. Their parents are yelling at them. Their kids hate them. I mean, they don't even have fucking kids. Fuck it, right? And they go home and they go on Twitter, and instead of going to DMs, they don't get fucking DMs. Notifications, they don't get fucking notifications. Instead of going to home, Zach, they go to the search. And then they search they search a handful of keywords that they've algorithmically figured out will give them the results they want. And then they go ham for the rest of the night.
I don't want to imagine how much time it would take to reply to all of those tweets.
And that's why I don't want to imagine it either. And that's why I refuse to believe those are real people. Because no person, I don't care if they're an internet troll, Zach. I know internet trolls. That's fucking stupid.
That's too much work even for like the most dedicated of like shitty internet trolls.
That's what I'm saying. On one specific thing, internet trolls just do everything.
Bro, this is like NPC theory, but Twitter.
That's what I'm saying. Do I have to explain the NPC theory again?
For the third time?
For the 50th time? Spark Notes. I think I had a whole episode on it. Maybe I did. I'm not sure. I think it was a customer service episode. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Great episode. Spark Notes is that not everybody is real. I'm not tinfoil hatting. I believe in Wi-Fi 6. I believe in 5G, Zach. I shop with Amazon Prime. You know, I'm not like out. I'm not like some, you know, like a, you know what I mean? What's the word? Skeptical Sally? I don't know. Sociopath? No, that's the other one. Not right. No, that's not the right one.
What is the word?
I don't know. Anyways, I'm not one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to think I'm a sane person in general. In general, by definition, I'd like to believe I'm sane.
Conspiracy theorist.
Conspiracy theorist. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't believe in no fucking astrology bullshit. I'm an Aries. That's all. I only know that because people keep reminding me. And now I finally remember. I don't know the other ones though.
I just ask people to guess my sign, and then every answer that I give them that is not my sign, they're like, "Oh, that makes so much sense."
No, it fucking doesn't. What if I was like, "Can you guess my sign?" And they're like, "Oh, what let's see. You seem like a I don't know the other signs, Zach, help me.
Gemini.
You seem like a Gemini.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm actually a
Capricorn.
Oh, that makes sense because you do that. I'm an Aries, you dumb fuck. Gotcha, bitch. You know, gotcha, bitch. Get fucked. No, I'm joking. By the way, it's fun. I was talking about religion earlier, Zach. You know, it's that type of thing. No, not that. I mean, it could be fun, but just the ideology behind understanding a certain thing in order to get or believing a certain thing to wrap context around things to understand. I don't have a problem with that. I lost my point, Zach. I apologize. That was a weird tangent. I lost myself.
You were talking about NPC theory.
NPC theory.
Conspiracy theory.
Okay, right. I'm not one of those. But the point, okay, NPC theory. Okay? Very simple. I work customer service job, right?
Mm-hmm.
I produce things and customers come and buy things. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Simple. Very simple concept, Zach. A store, one might say. My theory is that people just pop into existence as customers, order their things, you hand it to them. Once they leave your peripheral vision, they're gone. Do they even exist, Zach? Schrodinger's ding.
Schrodinger's dong.
Exactly, right? I think after rewatching Bunny Girl Senpai, it made me even feel stronger about that. Did they even exist in the first place? They left the scenery, but I don't see them leave to go back home. I don't see them enter their car.
But when I do see people enter their car, they just fucking stereotypical like NPC driver. It's like Grand Theft Auto 5, dude.
Not even that though. It's just they leave. Once they leave my peripheral vision, they're no longer in my observation. Are they still walking that same direction? Are they going towards a car? Did they enter a different store? Are they even drinking the damn drink? I don't know. I haven't observed them, so therefore they don't exist in that current state of time. Isn't that fucking weird? Isn't that fascinating? Look at that, Zach. I now have stronger claims to hold the claim that I made months ago. What? Ah! They don't exist anymore. So that's NPC theory. There are real NPCs. We live in a video game, Zach. Video game world where there are actual NPCs. There's actually people being randomly spawned, generated type bullshit out of nowhere, out of thin air. But nobody thinks about it differently because you didn't see it. Nobody saw it. And then they do their thing, and then they walk off, and they disappear. They no longer exist, Zach. That's what the NPC theory is. Now, mind you, I'm not fucking crazy. Part of it is just for fun. Part of it, I just like to think. Like, obviously, I know if I start chasing after them, I will probably find them. Or maybe not. I don't know. That's the fun part, right? That's the fun part about this whole observation show donger's dong thing, you know? That's why I found that idea so fascinating in Bunny Girl Senpai, right? Because now I have an idea to back that up. I have a personal experience to relate to that story now, to that idea. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
It's so interesting because whenever you're like driving on the road, I feel like you never see the exact same car with the exact same driver more than once.
Yes.
Like, we don't live in a giant town.
No, we don't. Not at all.
And it's like even the most like distinct looking cars. Like, if I don't know them, let's say someone's driving a freaking mustard orange or a mustard yellow. My brain just short-circuited for a second.
Mustard blue. So green.
Mayonnaise cold.
Nice.
So just imagine like a mustard yellow Prius. You would be able to spot that immediately from a mile away.
Yeah.
Because it's yellow and it's a Prius. Fucking hilarious. You know?
You really hate Prius. You bring it up like once a month.
I don't know, man.
It's good. Go ahead.
But you never see them again. Or like those really cool muscle cars or like whatever. You know, we never see the same car twice. It doesn't matter how regular or routine your drive is. I make the same commute to work 4 days a week, right? Never see the same car twice. And
where do they go? Do they just not work anymore? You know?
Dude, when I worked at Costco, it was the weirdest thing because there were so many people and there would be like maybe one or two people who I would recognize who would come back. But even then, you know, it's like there's no way that
there's different faces every time.
Yeah, and like, you know, we talked about this when we first brought up the NPC theory, with you working at a mall. Yes. You know, like people don't travel to fucking Vancouver for much of anything because most people just either go to Portland or Seattle. And so we're just kind of chilling here like, oh yeah, you know, we're just in the middle of two cool cities, whatever. We're just chilling.
We're like a pit stop, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, we're like a oh shit, I need to find a hotel that's close enough to Portland. That's kind of all that we are. That's the city. And so I imagine that there's not very many places to do cool shit that is like touristy. It's like, oh wow, the waterfront.
Basically, and then that's Vancouver just kind of exists. That's what we are.
Bro, we are Schrodinger's dog.
Shut up, Zach. Shut up. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me this.
We are Pandora's box. We're the Bermuda Triangle.
No, we're not. We are real people, Zach. We are, at least. I don't fucking know about the rest of the people because, yes, I work at the mall. So, in general, yeah, sure, high traffic. If it's going to be, you know, out of all the places, I see a lot of faces. I meet a lot of faces. I talk to a lot of faces. Or say hi or engage in small talk or a fucking full-length conversation. There's some sort of communication.
Right.
Why do I keep seeing new damn faces? Who are these people, Zach? I've been working there for 4 years. Isn't that sad?
And there's only been a handful of notable occasions where you've seen the same person more than once.
I mean, I'm starting to see it more often, but in chunks. Like the regulars I used to have when I first started don't really come up anymore, and that's fine. You know, doing other things. Maybe they moved or something. Who knows? That tells me that those are real people, Zach. So who the fuck are these people?
That's so weird to just sit and think like, wow, I've interacted with so many people only one time, and then I never saw them again. And it's like, what if I am an NPC to someone else, Arthur?
No, you're not. You're a real person. Don't worry.
Wait, but what distinguishes me as a real person from the perspective of random Taco Bell worker that I see as an NPC, who I see every once in a while when I'm going to Taco Bell. I don't know why I bring up Taco Bell when I think of fast food place, Popeyes. Sure. You know, it's like, what? How am I a real person to the person who doesn't know if I'm a real person or an NPC? Like, where you're making me think too hard.
It's just the idea of humanism is what draws us, or is what defines us as a non-NPC. The idea that the communication feels very human-esque at the very least. You have to kind of know. You know just a little bit, but I mean, I think, I mean, sure, at that, with what I'm saying, what I'm spewing out of my mouth hole is that maybe I'm an NPC to you. The reason why I am not is because we keep seeing each other, we interact with each other in human ways, we continue to interact with each other, we have these intimate conversations, and we talk about life, living as a human being. I am human, yes.
I am human being man with human being hands. I have appendages that move when I tell them to move. My brain do big thinky, make body go move.
Yes. And we can determine that both of us are not NPCs. But when I work, and probably when you work and you meet other people, or maybe just go to wherever fucking place, Taco Bell or McDonald's, and you see the drive-through window person or whatever the hell, you could probably tell if they're a human or not human. Am I crazy? I feel like when I'm saying this out loud, I sound crazy. Part of it is a joke. I want to say that out loud. Part of it is I'm just having fun, Zach. We mentioned earlier with the jokes that may not seem to, you know.
Okay, but why does it sound like it could be a thing?
That's what I'm saying.
That's the terrifying part.
Do you remember the video? Did I show you the video? The video was like, there's a guy, he was like, we're living in a video game world, I promise. Watch this shit. And then he turns his phone or whatever, and he shows this old dude just walking, and he's just walking like this. He's like, that's a motherfucking NPC, bro. That's a GTA auto-created character. There's no fucking way that's a real person. You ever seen that video, Zach?
I've seen videos that are similar where it's like someone will walk into a store, hand them like just blank pieces of paper and be like, I hope you have a good Tuesday afternoon. And it's like 8 a.m. on a Thursday. And they're just like, you know, you can tell them like, oh yeah, you know, Danny DeVito has an OnlyFans, and it's just like just the most outlandish shit. And then they're just like, oh yeah, you know, that's really cool. I never heard about that. And then, you know, they'll just take it wholeheartedly, and then you leave, and
right.
Huh?
What just happened? Have you seen it's an infamous clip. What is it? Fuck. I can't remember. I'm going to say the name, and I'm going to butcher it because there's a big fan base of it, I'm pretty sure. Like Oblivion, right? The game or whatever.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then there was a, or was it Oblivion? I can't remember what the exact quote was, but it was that type of game, right? And it was like Oblivion NPC in real life, and it was like this clip of this guy. I think he was biking, and he was biking in a certain city, and he was live streaming or something like that, like GoPro live streaming or something like that, however way that works, right? While biking, he stops and he's just kind of doing his own thing, like with his chat or whatever, and then some old guy just walks past him, says the most NPC line you can ever think of, and waits for no response and continues walking. Like it's like Oblivion NPC in real life. You need to see this clip, Zach. Like, it's actually fucking, it's incredible. It's incredible how it exists. Should we stop and find the clip?
I just imagine old man walking by. Wonderful weather we're having.
No, it's even more crazy. It's not even that. It's so incredibly specific. Like, it's literally just idle walking animation dialogue type shit. It's so crazy. And I don't even think if that was a real person, if that was a real old man, I don't even think he was hysterical or anything. I think he was just doing his thing, and he just said something in his mind. But if that wasn't a real person, it was an NPC.
I used to be a warrior like you until I took an arrow to the knee and then just fucking moved on with their life.
Like what? How is
what?
that? What? This is the world we live in? No, that can't be. There's... If there is a God, he's fucking with us, you know? He's just having a fucking good time.
Bro, he is dedicating power to the computer that runs this planet fucking elsewhere. Like, there is no way that he is going like... There's no way. Like, what?
It's definitely just like he's just doing his thing. He's in his room or throne or however way you perceive God. And he's doing his thing and he's just like... Hey, watch this shit. And he does something.
Have you seen that episode of Rick and Morty where Rick and Morty are in a simulation?
Yes, of course.
Oh my god.
It's been a long time though. Oh man, but yeah, the whole simulation episode. What if it's just that's such a fucking like The Matrix? I don't know if I didn't see the recent one.
I haven't either.
I was watching a bit of the I think 3 because the recent one is 4, right?
I have no idea, dude.
I'm pretty sure Matrix 1, 2, and 3. I can be fucking... I'm not the biggest Matrix fan. I apologize. I watched it years ago with my dad. I barely even remember it, but I was watching because my dad was watching it to watch the new Matrix. Because I don't know if he's a fan, but he enjoys Matrix. I'm pretty sure we have Matrix like 1 and 2 on DVD or something like that. You know, he likes Matrix. So
all of those movies are just like a fever dream, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. But imagine that. Like they were thinking about this whole simulation type bullshit back then. And I don't know if it was 90s necessarily, but like 2000s and stuff.
Mr. Anderson.
You know, what? That's crazy. This concept of just life is a simulation. That's so sad. But I don't think, it's not sad because, okay, let me rephrase that. It's not sad. It's just fascinating to think about is all. It's fascinating to think, like, you know, when you talk about things like people who work office jobs and stuff, and it's just like this simulation of life where you do the same cut and paste thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I feel like what that can do 2 things. One, it can make people kind of skeptic about life and stuff, right?
Yeah. But
it can also promote encouragement to do more than just the norm, to promote kind of creativity, to promote doing things that they want to do rather than follow a certain structure. So that the whole simulation mindset, I feel like, can be a good thing if you think about it the correct way.
It's interesting that you bring up like office jobs and like everything like that. This is a little bit of a sidestep, but that's a part of the reason why I decided to go into the field that I went into, because there is a level of randomness that just inherently comes with working in medicine and working in veterinary medicine, because not every single day is going to look exactly the same. It might look similar, you know, you might be doing the same things, but it's never going to be copy paste exactly the same.
I like to say real quick, I'm not hating on office jobs. I feel like I say that a lot. They're important. The roles of accountants and salarymen and salarywomen and, you know, though that type of business, the corporation type thing, they're very important. They make things happen, Zach.
Right.
They are the reason why the world is able to be the world, and it's not like there's not some archaic we're still fighting with like spears and swords and shit and casting magic at each other or some bullshit like that, you know, and flying on dragons and shit. No,
Game of Thrones.
I imagine that's what the world be if we didn't have that corporate type of thing. They're important, you know. They're the reason why they're the reason why banks function, you know, and they're the reason why there's a certain type of corporate 9-to-5 cubicle accountant type thing that creates these cameras and these lenses and these microphones and the things and the stuff that we do every day. So it's important.
Yes.
I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but what that does, that idea promotes people to do other things, where those type of hardworking salary people can say, whew, that was a long day of work, that was a long week of work, I'm going to take my family and have a time this weekend, and they go out and do things where other people have broken off to do other sort of careers, to do cooking and culinary. They go to that restaurant to entertain into that to their field that they worked hard in, or maybe they don't go out. They stop and they watch their favorite streamer or YouTuber who those people, they broke off the norm to be entertainers for the people who are in that norm.
Right.
It all helps each other. We all help each other. It's one of these. It's a flow and shit.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've kind of lost where this conversation has gone.
I don't know. I've lost it too. Just in general. But what I find fascinating is just how different life can be from one person to another, and whether they are real people or not, who the fuck knows? Who the fuck cares? At this point, it's just like, you will meet the real people, you will engage, and you will interact with the real people. More intimately. You may have to interact with the NPCs. If you ever played an RPG or a JRPG, you know how that goes. And sometimes when you interact with NPCs, they're fascinating. Shout out to Kazari from Genshin Impact, who was the #1 NPC I've ever interacted with in my life. Her story is beautiful. He's a fucking NPC. I feel like that adds to real life, where it's just like, there'll be NPCs that are really cool and you're glad you interacted with them. But you will have the interactions with the humans and you will become friends with them or not friends with them. Who knows? But all of these relationships are important.
Can I tell you a really funny story?
Yes. Tell me the funny story.
Okay, so I kind of accidentally made a habit of just randomly interacting with strangers that I see just when I'm out and about in my day-to-day life. Just to throw them for a loop, because we've gotten so used to being out in public and just not interacting with other humans like at all. And so basically every single time I go out, I just, like, not to be rude or anything like that, like, but I just kind of spark up random conversations with random people. And they just seem so taken aback by it, because they're like, who the fuck is this person?
Right.
You know, like, why are you doing what you're doing right now? And so I'll just like randomly spark a conversation with somebody, and they'll just kind of look at me like, what is happening right now? And I'm like, I'm an agent of chaos. You know,
there are people like that. Even I experience it as well, where I'm just doing my job or whatever, and then sometimes the customers in the line would start talking, just chatting and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Whoa. And I like, hey, how's it going? No, like just talking about shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is happening? Your order is ready. Can you come here? No, but seriousness, like they're really just chatting and doing this interaction thing. I'm like, see that? Those are some human beings over there. Look at those human beings
doing human stuff.
Yeah. No, that's a good thing. I would say that's a good thing. I don't do that, but that's more because although I do like interaction, I love interaction. I'm kind of I'm in like a rocking boat of like, do I want to interact? Do I not want to interact? Generally, I don't interact unless interacted upon first. That's me. I counter interact. I don't really initiate. That's not the way I was raised. I think I've explained before. My family don't really initiate anything, but we will go along with what's happening.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense though. You know, I was raised by much more outgoing people. And you know, that's just kind of how it is with me and my family, and I'm like the most antisocial out of my entire family. And so it's interesting when I'm out with them as opposed to like when I'm out with my more antisocial friends, because I seem outgoing and bashful and everything like that when I'm around, you know, people who are pretty closed off. And then I seem like the closed off one when I'm around a bunch of people who don't really care that they're out in public. They're just doing a bunch of weird, dumb shit. Shouts out to my family. But it's like, it's cool though. It's fun. It's fun when you realize no one gives a shit and you don't need to take life too seriously. Like, like I mentioned to you, I went bowling with da boys.
Yes.
And we were accidentally just kind of like agents of chaos. Like the place that we went to, the lane right next to us was being all fucky wucky, and ours was too, where like the in between your two throws, the thing would come pick up the pins and then put it back down again.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they would just fall over and just like do a bunch of weird shit. Or like we had, I think, 3 different occasions where one of our balls went into the gutter, bounced, went into the lane next to ours, and gave the person who was in that lane, who was bowling, a strike. 3 different occasions. It was absolute fucking madness.
Nice.
And we were just having a time.
Nice cock.
God damn it. We were just having a time. And then I realized, like, they ended up having to leave because their lane kept being all fucky wucky.
Right.
I don't know if they moved to a different lane or they just went home, but I realized, like, we were having a great time and they were having a really shitty time. And so, just the juxtaposition between the vibe of our table of people all just sitting around having a grand old time bowling, and then them where they're just like somber, like, this is fucking bullshit, dude. Why the fuck are we even here? Why did we decide to come to this place in particular? But yeah, it's so funny when you get a bunch of people who don't really give a shit about how they look in public and put them in public together, and then you end up with some very, very funny moments.
Well, I think you need that. I'm glad that you were that group, because while it didn't really work out for that group, that group that you're mentioning, that particular other party, when you have that part, your party, or even just that party represented as an individual, the outgoing one, right? They're the one that's needed in order to lift the spirits, right? There has to be that guy at the party.
Yeah,
it has to be. I mean, even if everybody's super, like, everybody can be extroverts, and everybody can be doing their thing, partying, socializing, doing party things, whatever that may be. I would never know. You need to, you need that person who is extra extroverted,
right?
Who is just like going off and leading the part. Humans are natural born followers, Zach. It's not a bad thing. It's just we need a leader to follow. Right? We look up to role models. We look up to examples. It's just kind of how we roll. It's just kind of how humans work. You need a leader in a group, whether it be for a project, whether it be for homework or something like that, a study group. I don't know if study groups, we don't really do that much here. I know if you were doing university, you do that way more often. But imagine the university study group and everybody just kind of doing their own thing. That's lame as shit. You need to be someone coordinating it, helping everybody out, encouraging everybody to help each other out, or just being in the group project. Even if it's a group project and everybody's doing their own thing, there needs to be a leader.
Right.
Like I mentioned before in school group projects, the best way to do a school group project is to divide the work. Not everybody do a little bit of every work. That's stupid. Divide the work. But there needs to be someone who is not necessarily taking responsibility, but encouraging everybody else.
Encouraging it and kind of like orchestrating
right
it almost.
Yes,
yeah.
You need the director, you need the orchestrator guy, you need the I don't know why I say guy, it's the orchestrator, the guy, conductor. You need that person to not necessarily bear the responsibility, not necessarily be the I don't know, the smartest or the most powerful or whatever that may be, but just someone. So that way everybody can just follow a rubric follow that person to guide them to do what they need to do, rather than just be like, I think this is what I need to do, so I'm just going to do it. No, you need that person. So when you have that with your group, right? I can imagine a scenario, maybe this just didn't happen this time, but I can imagine a scenario where it's your group going bowling and you make everybody else around you going bowling have a fucking blast. Yeah. Because there's someone having fun. You're like, oh, it's kind of fucking, they've kind of been fucking stupid. Let's have some fun ourselves, have you ever been to okay. I'll bring this up, but there's also a time where it's two sides, right? Have you ever been to Topgolf?
Yes.
Have you ever been in a group and then the group next to you are fucking pro golfers and they're just going fucking hard?
Yes.
Does that make you feel uncomfortable or comfortable?
Honestly, I think it really depends on like the vibe of the group that I'm with.
Sure.
Just because, you know, if everyone's like, oh wow, these guys are just sitting here showing off, what a bunch of fucking assholes, and I'm like, meh, fuck you. But you know, if it's just a lighthearted fun, you know, I just don't really care that much.
Right.
It's like, or like, you know, I could take it as an opportunity to be like, hey, can you help me not be fucking garbage at this really quick? That would be sick. Thank you.
I'm the camper who's I'm having fun watching them because I mean I'm a sports ball watcher, Zach. I love watching people perform well. Sports. I love watching people perform well. When I'm seeing them, and first of all, now that I'm an old man, Zach, right? I'm 340. Golf is cool. I think golf is fun. Well, I think watching golf has gotten a lot better to me. I haven't like watching golf. I feel like it's like, you know, that whole stigma. Oh, yeah, stigma.
My eye hurts.
Watching them in the bed when we're younger, it's like, oh, it's so fucking boring. Why do our parents watch this? And I'm watching it now. I'm having a time because when they hit, it's so fascinating. Like how perfect it is, how the form and the glide and just that crack of the ball when it hits the driver. Oh my God, that's fucking money. I'm into it now.
Dude, I have so much respect for that person who has to find the ball with a camera.
I know. But how the fuck do they do that? I mean, I guess when they're really far away, they have a bigger frame of motion, but that's still pretty fucked. That's besides the point, right? I've gotten really more into like that idea. So now when I'm playing, I mean, I don't go to Topgolf very often, but when I have, you know, there's always that group who's just fucking killing it, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm watching them and they're fucking launching that shit and they're having a time and they're not like really worried about the people around them. They're just in their own group and they're just having a time of partying and stuff. But, you know, with the boys or with the girl, whatever the fuck, who knows? Who cares? Right? And I'm like, you know what? They're having a time. I like that. They're having so much fun. Mad respect, bro. I like that. I like that they're just being that party who isn't necessarily, it was indirectly influencing the parties around them. I mean, obviously you can be like annoyingly, you know, like annoyingly loud or something or obnoxious and stuff like that. But if they're just radiating positive vibes and not,
dude, I love that so much.
It's fantastic. And it's like, this is fantastic when it's a group or just a person.
Yeah. And I love when I have an opportunity to be able to kind of be that person, you know? And I guess just like the moral of the story is, you know, just not taking life too seriously, not taking anything that you're doing, whether it's recreation or, you know, just like your day to day, and not taking it too seriously. Mm-hmm. Like there's a fine line between like goofing off and not getting stuff done that you need to and making it fun, you know, like my work, you know, like we'll be having surgeries and all that fun stuff and we'll be jamming out to music, just kind of like, you know, getting stuff done. And that's just, you know, that's just how it goes. And we're all just having a grand old time, you know, talking about like, oh, what'd you do over the weekend? You know, that's super cool. And, you know, just having a time, having a go. And there's a difference between that and just like not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Right. Well, okay. There's that idea of like slack. You know how I feel about slacking, Zach.
Yeah.
I don't fuck.
Oh, I missed it. No, I changed to my camera because I was going to do something funny and then you fucking...
Did you finish drinking it?
No, there's still stuff in it.
You can go pick it up if you need to. Yeah, okay, cool. So... I can't reach. So, I don't be slacking, Zach. It's not what I do. It's not in my code. It's not in my ninja way. My ninja way. It's not it. But the idea where like, okay. I've seen this here and there. It's like okay, here's a good example. Recently I was watching this video. You know Louis Rossman?
I do not.
Okay, that's fine. So he does like Mac repair. like MacBook repairs and stuff, and he has a YouTube channel. He's a very popular YouTube channel, and he's he's the guy who's like in the forefront of who's fighting for the right to repair, like that kind of thing. And it's very cool, and his videos are interesting. Although I don't really know the specifics, he's just fun to watch, and he does like sometimes he'll do live streams of just of him fixing like MacBooks and stuff, and it's fascinating. Even though I don't really know what's happening, but he's explaining it and he's explaining how it works and stuff, and it's like, okay, that's cool. I don't get the specifics, but it's fascinating. He does get pretty political though, so you watch if you want to watch it, right? But that goes into a different topic where it's just like I just watch people, even if I don't agree with them, I just watch it to just understand. Anyways, moving back, he posted a video, like a super chill video. It was on his phone, right? And he put it on his YouTube channel. He does this a lot. And he runs a repair shop, and he has a bunch of workers and stuff, right? And they were just kind of playing basketball, like a indoor, like a little mini hoop, and they're just throwing things or like balls into it and stuff,
That's so fun.
They're just having a time. And then there was a comment, I think he pinned it too because he's petty as fuck. And he was like, if I was walking down the street and I looked in the window and I saw a bunch of people playing basketball and stuff, I wouldn't want my laptop repaired today. And then he made a whole video following up on that where it's like, you work long hours and you're doing this thing over and over again. As the employer, the boss, he has a responsibility of work environment, right, and work mental health, and that's a thing, And if you're not doing anything, you have no work at the moment, or you're just gonna sit there like this and twiddle your thumbs and just wait for work. Obviously, if I have if I'm just like sitting here, we should be doing things, whatever, or you're sitting here and you're talking, right? And I'm just on my phone, just like, yeah. And you're trying to strike conversation with me, and you are super deep into conversation. I'm just like scrolling on Twitter or whatever. That's different. But if I'm working, or maybe I'm doing work, and that work has like a wait time of something. Yeah. Let's say I'm an editor and I'm waiting for something to render. I don't know. That's the first thing I could think of as an editor. I would assume there are some things similar to that you may have to do. So you're just gonna, all right, I'll just sit here and wait for 3 hours. Or an hour, or 20 minutes. I can't, my computer is rendered useless now. I'll just, Can you still do this, Zach? Let's see if you can do it. Yeah, that's a story for another time. But try to see it, people at home. See if you can take one hand, roll it backwards, and the other hand, roll it forward like this. I'll promise you'll have a bad time, but then you'll have a time. But that's besides the point. He had
definitely did not expect that to actually work. Like me to be able to do it. You can do it.
You've done it before, Zach. You know how to do it. Your body knows what it's doing, Zach. You're a human. Anyways, it's just like there's this important role of work environment, healthy working, mental health, and that type of thing. As a boss, as an employer, you need to understand that. And as long as work is getting done, who the fuck cares? Right. Right? Let's say you come into work, you clock in, and you get an X amount of work, whatever that may be, paperwork, projects, whatever the fuck. And you finish it every single day, and you're productive, and you're doing it. You may do it early. If you're late, you go overtime or whatever you need to do. You talk with your mates around, and you talk with your boss, and you're communicative and you're friendly. Who the fuck cares if you check your phone for literally a second or something for notifications even, and then put it down, right? Yeah. Who the fuck cares? It's just a quick mental break because and again. Obviously, if I work customer service and I'm on the register and I'm on my phone and the customer is walking up to me and they're like, okay, like, hey, and I'm like, oh, hey, what do you like to order? That's a problem, right? Yeah. Or even in the present, like during that video, there was no presence of customers. So imagine maybe I'm doing a good job, but my coworker is behind me or something, or on their phone talking or shouting or something like that. Now that obviously that's a bad thing as well. But if there's literally nothing, then who the fuck cares? Right.
And also when you do have stuff going on, when you're able to make it enjoyable, not just fine, and then you're just
Right.
you're just making your drinks, like, oh, this is, I love my job, woo. People feel that you kind of radiate that energy when you're working customer service and you're always around different people. But if you're having a time, you guys might have a little bit of music playing, but it's not like super loud, and you guys are just like, running around having a grand old time, you make it seem like it's an enjoyable job to have, then what's to say that someone wouldn't want to throw an application in there? Because,
or even just go to the store.
Yeah.
Had they not do so already.
Yeah.
Or weren't going to do so already. Zach, you know what that does, Zach? You know what? Let's say you're walking past this store and you see some people, and there's two scenarios, Zach. Scenario one, there's 3 workers in this store, and you walk past their little area, and they're just fucking talking and chatting and having a time. There's music playing, and they're laughing and stuff. In scenario 2, you walk past, and there's a person at the front like this, and they see you go, and then in the back there's a couple more coworkers that are just like this, just waiting, right? Kind of like what we look like right now. You know what those are? It's like those are NPCs. Now we're the NPCs, Zach.
That is so... You're making my brain hurt, Arthur.
That's what I promise you, I'm fine. I just find that idea fascinating. So when you have, like, if you're a boss and an employer, okay. Oh, sorry, I was asking you a question. I forgot to ask for your answer. Okay, what store would you approach? Scenario 1 or scenario 2?
Scenario 1.
Exactly, because it's more inviting. It's more wholesome. And now you enter that scenario, and then there's a side scenario. It's a flow chart now, Zach. Scenario 1, they're having a chat. They see you, like, oh, hey, what's good? What can I do for you? And then there's scenario 2, where they don't acknowledge you at all, and they're still chatting and fucking around, right? Now that's a bad thing,
right?
Obviously. So
moderation.
You want that scenario 1A rather than 1B, right? So yeah, you need to understand that type of environment to. Well, I mean, that's going to depend on your work. If you, as a boss, as an employer, can't promote that type of, energy where you have employers who can fuck around and do whatever they want and spend their time how they'd like to, and still promote good energy towards the customer service and everything like that, that's fantastic. If you can't do that, then that's a problem, right?
Right.
So that, I thought that was just fascinating. I just thought that's, yeah.
And the cool thing too is that kind of goes off of the idea that I was talking about, where it's like, don't take life too seriously. You have stuff that you need to do, and as long as you get them done, the road that you take to get there is not necessarily as important as people make it out to be. Because when you're working a 9 to 5, you're doing the same thing every day, the morale will start to decline unless there's some variation in the day. And there's a way to just kind of make it mentally stimulating for yourself.
You need the grapefruit, Zach. You need to throw in the wrench every now and then, Zach.
That is a very bizarre metaphor. That is a very bizarre metaphor, but sure.
But I'm right.
You are.
The idea is right. My heart is in the right place, Zach. You need the strange.
You need the grapefruit.
You need the grapefruit every now and then, Zach, to spice up your life. You need to do some random shit, have some fun. You're at their office job and the cubicle, and you have some things to throw. You have a paper that you need to toss out. Instead of walking up to throw it out, maybe just toss it in the bin. You miss, you're like, damn it. And then you go up and grab it. Even that much, Zach. Zach, at work, I do all sorts of random shit. I flip shit. I told you this, right? I flip my cups. I flip the blenders. I'm spinning around and I'm sliding on the moppy floor. I'm basically endangering myself. Okay, not necessarily. I mean, I guess so if you think about it. But I'm just doing random shit and adding stakes because I've worked here for a long time, right, Zach? So it's just like, well, what can I do to just add a little bit more fun? Add a little bit more stakes to make things a little more fun. Well, before I hand my customer the order, I'm going to fucking flip that shit, catch it, and then put it back on and give it back to them. Let's see. Do I drop it? If I drop it or explode it or it goes on the customer, well, fuck, that happened, I guess. But I don't know. And we'll just see what happens. I mean, it happens every now and then, but once in a blue moon because I'm fucking nice with it. That's besides the point. Like, you know.
You're like, I am fucking perfection.
And, you know, recently, I started taking, like, we have blenders and I would flip the blenders too. Because I'm just having a fucking time. Why not? And since it's new, I'm new to it. I've dropped it a handful of times. It's kind of tragic, but you know, I'm getting there. But it's because like it's just why the fuck not? It was just having a time. And instead of like maybe I grab the blender and go towards the thing I need to do, I grab the blender, I do a fucking 180 towards the thing I need to do, and then I slide like a Michael Jackson to the thing. Because why the fuck not? It's fun to watch as the customer or whatever, you know, and it's just like, yeah. I'm having a time, and if I drop it, everybody's like, oh, well, shit, you know? Why the fuck not?
And if you drop it, then it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
For everybody involved, you're like, wow, I feel like a fucking idiot right now.
Yeah, I mean, and then I got to clean it up. That's sucky, depending on what it is. But, you know, it's just like, well, I don't, that little, you know what that does? I drop the drink, and now my coworkers are laughing at me, and we're having a time, and then we talk about it for the, you know, and it adds that little bit, even if I do drop and I fuck up, you know, it adds that factor into the long day of us just doing the same thing over and over again. Right. Saying our same exact copy and paste customer service lines over and over again, and making the same products over and over again. It's like, well, okay, what if we're doing that, but at some point one of us drops a drink and it makes a fucking mess and it explodes everywhere, and now there's like shit on the walls, you know, and there's this, and then they're cleaning it and we're laughing at them like, oh, you missed a spot, you know, and we're having a time, you know, that makes the day better,
right? And the important thing is the way that you look at it. Because if you look at it like, wow, that person's a fucking idiot, why are they sitting there goofing around while they're trying to get stuff done? First of all, fuck you. But second of all, you know, when you look at it from the perspective of, I'm just trying to make it so that I can tolerate this job a little bit more, or I'm trying to make it so that this job is a little bit more fun for me because I've been doing it for a long time. I already know how to do what I'm supposed to do. So now I have an opportunity to be able to turn it into something that can be a little bit more entertaining for myself and also for the people around me. And then fucking do the thing.
Yes.
Have fun. Have a time. You do you, boo-boo. I don't give a shit. As long as like I said, as long as the end result ends up being the same, it doesn't really matter how you get there. And so you could just sit there and be, you know, fucking bottle flipping orders and shit. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. Just...
I might juggle them one day. Fuck it, Zach. I can't juggle. I'm gonna do it though. Because it'd be funny.
Gotta learn how to juggle. And then surprise them.
How to juggle.
Surprise everyone. Never tell anyone that you're learning how to juggle and then randomly one day just perfectly juggle 3 drinks.
You know, I never really thought about doing that. I should do that.
That would be fucking hilarious. No.
Okay, I won't. Not today.
Not
today.
Not the REM figure. I mean, if you just found a random miscellaneous other third thing, then that would have been fine.
Fair.
I think that is a very wholesome way to kind of wrap things up.
Perhaps
on the episode today.
I agree.
Yeah. Don't take life too seriously. Have fun. Do dumb shit.
Oh, I guess speaking of have fun and do dumb shit, I put in an order, Zach, for a very premium keyboard.
Oh.
And we're gonna end it, so I'll keep it brief. If YouTube I love, I am a. This isn't her, obviously, but you know, this is her mascot, and I love her, and I love it. It's Poyoyo. Say hi to Poyoyo.
Hello, Poyoyo.
So, this
is it a Poyoyo keyboard?
Close. It's just an IMA keyboard, but not quite because it is in no affiliation to IMA or Cover Corp or Hololive. It was only mere coincidence. But basically, so quick backstory, but I'll keep it brief, of course. Again, I was curious because I wonder if they're like VTuber, like Hololive keycaps or something like that to keep a keyboard. I was just curious, or if that exists, and I found this thing called GMK Taco. I talked about GMK before, but basically it's like a really premium keycap set. And Taco kind of is in no affiliation, but maybe coincidentally inspired by another certain VTuber, but it is not. But I found that, and then somehow I stumbled across a build stream of someone doing a build of a very, very small group buy run type of thing. And I explain group buy. It's basically like a pre-order, except you buy, like this. It's an opening, you buy, it closes, and then it ships out after some time. It's like pre-order, but the step before, basically. Anyways, I need to keep it short. I stumbled upon the stream of him building it, and it's an IMA board, a Nakuri, I believe they called it. Nakuri IMA is the full name. And it was cool, and it was super small. It was like, apparently the story was like some guy in a Discord. He was like, "Hey, I'm making this board. Would anybody be interested?" And there was like 5 or 6 people who just bought it, and they did the build, and it was cool. And then that it didn't necessarily blow up, but it added some name to it, and then that led me to their Discord, and I found out that they're making a V2, not necessarily of that board. It's a different board. This one's called Kawaio, which is also a reference to that VTuber. It's very cool, very premium. A lot of it's like a metal body. I think it's aluminium, and then the brass plate and brass weight and stuff like that. It's very cool, and there's like special engravings and her like her signature kanji thing, and it's a very cool board, right? And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's have some fun with life, Zach.
Fuck it, full send. So I'm sitting here, and it's a very cool thing. I've never been in this before, but it's like, because this is just a dude, and he's just kind of modeling this keyboard, and he's working with factories to make a custom PCB. It's very cool. It's a very cool process, and he's updating us along the way. And I was basically just sitting here watching it, not necessarily from the scratch because I joined a little late, but watching the process of what it became to literally last week when it finally launched. Very fun. And it's a very good keyboard. And that kind of just, again, is in the same idea where it's just like, life sometimes, just have a little fun. Obviously it was expensive, but it is a premium keyboard, so I would expect nothing less. I may not like the sound profile or anything because it's a new board, but there was only 44 orders. There was only 44 of us, which is pretty small in the grand scheme of things. So I was like, it's just cool, really small group buy, and it is really expensive, but it's like, why the fuck not? And it's 44 of us with the same appreciation for this VTuber, and we're just, having a time, and it's just like, I don't know, and I'm in the Discord, we're talking about keyboards and stuff, and it's like, this is great, this is fun, I'm having fun. So I put in the order, and it's great, and I don't know, I obviously it's expensive, but by the time it ends up shipping, because it takes a long time to ship, I'll make that money back anyways. So it's like, thank you, Garage. Why not, Right. And it's a once in a lifetime thing. I don't know if he does a third run. To my understanding, he probably isn't going to. But if he does, that'd be cool. If not, I have it. It's fun, and I don't know how great it'll be, but when you need to just stop and think, okay, first of all, is this accessible to me? Can I do this? Will I be, hurt financially or whatever it may be if I do this? Obviously, that's important. Very important first. Right.
Obviously, I'm not happy about spending that money because it's kind of a lot of money. And the end game, quote unquote, board that I was looking for is cheaper than it. So I'm like,
no.
Yeah. So I'm just like, fuck. But at the same time, so I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't know, I can do it. It's not egregiously bad. And I understand why it is that expensive because of all these components, custom made, all that type of stuff. And I'm just having fun. And I'm having fun with everybody else in there, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and hey, let's fucking meet up afterwards, and shit. We're having it. It's wholesome and shit. And I can't do it though because I'm in Singapore. But I'm here. I'm USA. Fuck yeah, no.
Fuck it, dude. Represent the US. Hell yeah.
But I don't know. I just thought it was fun. I thought it would be fun to do, so I just did it. And that's basically just the end of my story. And I don't know. It's how much does that relate to what we were talking about? I don't know. But it's just have some fun in life. You know, obviously make
Quite
sure
wholesome.
quite wholesome. Make sure you are able to first, obviously, you know, but have some fun in life. Make life not boring. I guess if that's what we want to end this episode off with, is make life not boring.
Agreed.
Life will be boring, so find ways to make it not boring. That's all. If you end up in a career that makes your life boring, then make it not boring. If you don't want that job, then find a job that is not boring. Make life not boring. And make sure you check the description for our links. We have socials and all that type of stuff. Twitter, Instagram, all that type of stuff. Patreon if it's ready. Coffee if it's ready. Or coffee is always ready. Do you have anything else to say, Zach?
Don't take life too seriously. Have fun. Take chances. You know.
Make life not boring. That should be on a t-shirt, Zach. Make life not boring.
I think we should make that into a shirt.
I think we should make that into a shirt, yes.
If you guys want to see us do some merch, let us know down below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff.
Yes.
We will see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Damn! Oh, they weren't ready for that, Zach. See? Strange. Grapefruit. Goodbye, everyone.
What the fuck?